What's happening, people? Hope you're all well. As you can see on screen, we have an album called Mantras by a band called ASAVA, and I'm very interested in finally getting around to checking this out. It came out, I think, like 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago, and it's been one that's on my radar as an up-and-coming band that is currently getting some hype in the scene. Metalburb has been blowing these guys up a little bit with a short-form clip that he did for the track Acceptance, which we'll get onto in a moment. And he also did a full-length YouTube video for Acceptance. So a lot of people are obviously being made aware of this band at the moment, and they are definitely one to look out for. Now, I do have my reservations with the band overall, which I think are fair, and I think, you know, some of the people that I've been talking to or talking with about this band have also agreed. So I was made aware of this band ASAVA by Palooza, who was a member of the Discord and the Twitch and the Patreon community. So shout out to Palooza. But basically, he put me on to Confidence and Rue, which is track number 2 and 7 on this album. They were the first 2 songs I heard from this band a couple of weeks back on Twitch, and they had something, you know, they definitely had something, and I could see that they had something, but there was just still something not quite there, or something missing when the heavier moments came in. I could clearly hear that the band were talented and had something unique about them, even in the way they presented themselves visually. They have a cool theme that seems to be running through a lot of their songs, where they're clearly like movie and horror fans and series fans by the way in which their videos are designed. They have one of the songs, either Rue or Confidence, is based on True Detective, which is an interesting visual take. And then their most recent song, ASAVA, off of this album, track number 6, or sorry, Acceptance, I should say, is also like a very quirky, artsy video. I don't know what that's based on, but they have the whole like black paint all over their body and shit. It's pretty cool. But I've heard 3 songs from this album, and I've heard 1 song that was just released as a single before this, because this is their first album and they have no prior EPs, but they have been making music for a while, but it seems like they've finally gotten around to actually putting a debut album out, which is what we're going to check out today. But my take on it so far is that Acceptance, which is the popular song that Burb has done a great job in actually getting to a lot of people. This band is kind of like semi-blowing up at the moment. Like I said, Burb's done a short form video with like loads of views on it across like short form platforms, and then he also did a main YouTube video for the song Acceptance. Now, I did record my reaction to Acceptance when it dropped. I didn't love it. Maybe I'll key that video in, because otherwise it's kind of just going to go to waste, I suppose. I'll key that in maybe, or I'll just react to it again. I'll listen to it again. I don't know if I'll use this reaction or I'll use the actual first reaction. I don't know what I'm going to do just yet. Maybe I'll put that video out on YouTube, because the band's kind of popping off at the moment. But I didn't love Acceptance. Again, there's something about when this band go heavy, it feels like they're not really in their element. But if they can nail that sound in the heavier aspects, then it's going to be sick, because they've got a really, really sick vocalist. His voice is amazing. And just the vibe of the band overall seems to be pretty unique and cool. So we're going to go into this. Warrior is the first song, 8 tracks long, 31 minutes, 2025. Let's do it. ASAVA, debut album, Mantras. Let's go. It's already a cool start. It's already cool.
Great warrior, have you told me lies? Sun is setting, or is coming now. Great warrior, have you took
Okay.
my time, cowering and suffering out loud. All I see, just a fantasy. Another year of playing me around. Will I fall asleep before I'm complete? Another day is done, another fall, another
I'm liking this. The atmosphere is so slick. it does peek into realms that are a little bit distorted. It feels like they haven't.
I fall asleep
So beautiful though.
before I'm complete. Another day is gone, another wave gone, another
Yeah, it feels like when they step into that realm of heaviness, it's just like not as crisp as it could be. This all sounds absolutely beautiful though. They've really locked in their sound when it comes to the production overall and the vocal mix and shit. But it's just those heavy guitars are very raw, which I do like. But it's in moments a little bit jarring. It's quite too raw and rough around the edges, but that I'm sure can be fixed relatively easily. But what you cannot do relatively easily is make really entertaining songs like they've just done. This one I've heard. Let me hear it again. This is their most popular song on this album anyway. Possibly their most popular song in general.
it's true. I hate you. Sometimes it's true. I'm learning to love you inside.
I'm trying to remember which one this was. Was this the one with the... This is the first one I think I heard. And then Rue is the one that has the True Detective vibe to it.
Listen, better learn, better cause,
It is slick though.
better for you and me in future, maybe. I could make you stay. What if I dreamed of it? I could've been there. I could've been there. But it's true. I hate you. Sometimes it's true. I'm learning to love you inside. Cause it's true. Sometimes
There's that grit he has. This band has something. I don't quite know what it is just right now. It does give me Sleep Token vibes though, I'm not gonna lie. I know it's the cliche thing to say, but it does. The way the songs build.
What if I dreamed about you? What if I told you that I dreamed about you? Would you still be there? Would you still be
This is hitting so much harder on the second listen. Sing it, brother. Yeah, brother he's got something. You know, there's many really talented vocalists out there in the scene, but there's something about his voice that's really demanding of your attention. So much soul. That was the main thing that came to mind when I listened to Canyon. Just the amount of soul he has. Great range as well. When he goes into those gritty sections as well. Incredible. I'm excited to hear the rest of this. That's 2 songs in the playlist already. Nice. No mail today. They've got an incredible sound overall from a production standpoint. Do you know what? The guitar mix and the heavier distorted parts of that song weren't as noticeably jarring as they were in Warrior. If I'm being really like nitpicky, it's not enough for it to spoil the song. I'm not trying to say that. It's just... it's similar to like the Jutes album or the songs that Jutes has been releasing. It's like it sounds incredible from like a mix standpoint outside of the heavier stuff. It almost seems like the... okay. This is a really unique pacing to an album so far. They're really just taking their time with it. No rush. No mail today. Okay. Interesting. Save Me. They love their like 808 pulse.
Somebody's gonna smack it. Somebody's gonna know.
Yeah, when they get into their acoustic bag, they are on a different level, man. Listen to this.
Better the ways you say it's all that you know and heard.
I've chills.
I couldn't believe it, the same high. Yeah, the highs. All that you live for is all in your eyes. Don't try and save me, I do this alone.
They have me in the palm of their hands. I'm waiting for this to drop into something.
Don't try and save me,
Okay.
once in a while I'm needing a break. Some kind of way I cannot escape. But don't try and save me. Don't try and break me. Don't try and break me. I'm made up out.
Oh. Really not afraid to just let it ride out, you know? Keep building and building and building.
What you say,
So sexy.
good advice. I could not believe it, the same old hurt. The fear that hurts. All that you live for is all in your eyes. Don't try and break me, I'm made up of stone.
Okay. They are this close to making something.
Some kind of way I cannot escape. But don't try and save me. Don't try and break me. Don't try and break me. I'm made up of once in a while. I'm needing a break. Some kind of way I cannot escape. But don't try and save me. Don't try and break me. Don't try and break me.
The layering, man. How can I not talk about this? The like strings as well. Is that like a harp or something, or some kind of acoustic guitar again? I know they played the acoustic in some of the other songs. I don't know what that is. Interesting. It's something stringed anyway, but this is a very exciting debut album. Very exciting so far. They had me strung along in the lead up to the initial drop in Saveme. That was so unbelievably up my street. Ironically, until the heavier moments come in, these guys have me by the balls, which is ironic just because you would think that the heavier moments, you know, being that I am covering exclusively metal on this channel, essentially at this point, metal, rock music, anything heavy, people would argue pop music essentially a lot of the time with some of the metalcore projects that we check out, but you know, still within the heavy umbrella. Ironically, the heaviest parts of this band's discography that I've heard so far have been the parts that I've enjoyed the least. I think they have their production and their mix so dialed in for like the acoustic side of the mix and the more like pop-ish, pop-centric style that they have going on as well in the lead up with all the like the 808 and stuff. They have that so dialed in that I think when the guitars come in and the rest of the band comes in, the distorted guitars, the drums, it does feel a little bit overwhelming. It doesn't feel as crisp as the aforementioned other side of their mix with the acoustic guitars, the 808 drums. It feels like there's a big discrepancy between the two, so you do notice the kind of more jarring, distorted nature of the guitars coming in. Now, don't get me wrong. They're playing like 7, 8 string guitars. I don't know exactly. I haven't seen them perform it. I can't remember from the videos. It sounds like 7 or 8. It's supposed to be distorted. It's supposed to be in your face. But obviously the caveat to that is that it needs to be mixed in such a way that you don't lose a lot of the details of everything else. Because that can happen as well a lot of the time with modern metal, with there being a bass guitar, 7-string guitars. The frequencies are so low that it just becomes a little bit muddy. And I do feel like it was a little bit busy in some of those heavier points. But that is not to take anything away from this. I'll take that any day of the week when the song structures are entertaining and the music is still really, really sick. That is the main thing to take away right now. That song is borderline perfect to me. It's just the heavier moments are kind of a bit of a letdown for me just because it feels a little bit jarring to listen to, especially because of how in the zone I was. Also, it does feel like they're kind of stepping into this world as a new thing. Again, like I mentioned, my favorite song from them that I've heard so far is Canyon, which is like an acoustic rock song, so to speak. It's not necessarily metal. And this seems to be like a new venture they're going down, which I absolutely love because the voice on this man is incredible. Incredible. So fucking talented. I absolutely love it. He's got that like early Vessel kind of sound, like some of the stuff off maybe even the EPs and Sundowning, I want to say, even in This Place Will Become Your Tomb as well. He's got that like real eerie high-pitched falsetto that's just like ringing out in the background while this sexy like acoustic guitar or these strings are playing and all the rest of the percussion is building up. It just sounds so good. So I'm so in. However, it is a first album. So I'm still going to be like critical where I can be, but in a constructive way. I just think for me personally, the distorted section does peak out a little bit too much for my liking, just because the rest of the song sounds so incredible. But yeah, again, main thing is that they're writing really, really interesting music. I love this, right up my street. Let's see what they can do with the rest of it. Save Me is my favorite song so far. I think that might be my favorite song they've released, even more so than Canyon. That's incredible. Another interesting choice, like a 1.5 minute long song as a break. See, all this sounds so crisp and refined. It sounds like they have like a kind of pop music EDM producer that is dabbling in the world of, you know, darker, more distorted sounds, and that's why it maybe sounds a little bit... That's my take anyway. Okay, I've heard this one again. This is the one with the video that is very... What's the word of it? Jesus. Quite spirit boxy as well. Sorry, this is the new one. This is the new one. What am I talking about? Yeah, there it is. That's what I mean. It's a little bit jarring at times. Like, that's almost too much. It's like overbearing. This part is cool though. It's like a progressive Meshuggah. He's like a progressive vocalist. Again, the constant use of this. It's an acoustic guitar. It kind of sounds like a harp though, doesn't it? That's a pretty consistent thing across this album. So sick though, so unique. So exciting to have another band to like be excited about. They give me Spirit Box vibes as well, with some of the... They're from Ohio. That is haunting, chilling. That's mental. There's Vessel. You have to say it. Epic. Yeah, man. Great shit. Just is. That song hit a lot harder on second listen. For sure. Take your time. It's very, very unique. I love it. Even this is so different. Sick album, man. What a great show from Palooza to get to check this out.
They say you over me.
This is so sick.
They say you over me, but I can't go back.
This is the one that's like based on True Detective.
I can't go back. They say you come for me. But I won't go back. I won't go back. Traveling in the wings of an angel. 'Cause I cannot sleep. 'Cause I can't compete. Trouble in the wings of an angel.
So sick.
'Cause I cannot sleep. 'Cause I can't compete. Trouble in the wings of an angel.
I don't remember this being so sick. I think after hearing it in the context of the rest of the album, it's just...
You call my name. It's every time. It's torturing into pride. You call my name and see my face all the time. And I cannot sleep. 'Cause I can't compete. Counting the wings of an angel. And I cannot sleep. 'Cause I can't compete. Counting the wings of an angel.
Yeah, their willingness to just stop and start again, I love. Again, the production and everything is mental. It's so good.
You call my name. It's alright. It's torturing into pride. You call my name. You see my face till we
this is going to be on rotation for a while. If they can nail this last song, it's borderline flawless for me. This is right up my street. Okay. So this is a new song, brand new song for me anyway. Technically the least popular song. This has 1,300 plays. That song fucking hit. Second, third listen, that hits so much harder. This is a fucking great album. This is where they shine again. This is where their mix shines. So different. Like even the acoustic itself just sounds so raw. It has got like Deftones vibes as well in these more chill moments. Another obvious comparison. Yeah, this is one of those bands that you gotta have on your radar. If you're into modern metal, this is really exciting for me. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Well, it's almost a clean sweep. I don't think that song was necessarily bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it just didn't grab me as much. I have a lot of positive things to say about this project. Let's just get it's not even negative, it's just constructive, because it is a first album, and this is so close to being the absolute perfect debut. For me, anyway. I know some people might just see this as the perfect debut, which is completely fine as well. But for the sake of fairness, you know, I will state what I'm feeling about this, just slightly in the negative direction, and then we'll talk about everything that's massively positive about this. The only thing that I can see that's slightly negative about this is, like I've mentioned previously, the heavier moments. I don't know anything about this band. It does strike me as kind of like a Jutes situation. If you guys are familiar with Jutes, who is dipping his toes into the world of modern metal. And his producer, who's worked with the likes of Demi Lovato, who has an extensive background in mixing and producing pop artists, is working with Jutes now. And my hunch was that, I don't know for an absolute certainty, but I've looked through the discography of the person who is currently producing Jutes, and he's not worked with any other bands that I can see that are using 7 or 8 string guitars. So it's obviously a completely new range of frequencies that Jutes' producer is working with, and you can hear it in the mix, where everything in the pop realm sounds absolutely crisp and absolutely perfect, amazing. All the vocals, all of the atmosphere sounds incredible, but when the guitars come in, it feels like a different song, if that makes sense. Now, it still works, and it's cool from a composition standpoint how the whole thing flows, and I like it, but it's just noticeably a different mix when the guitars come in. And this, I don't know the backstory of this either. I'm just getting that vibe from this because I have heard their music from prior to this album with Canyon, which is on the channel. You can go check that out. That doesn't have the big like 7-8 string breakdown or the heavier moment, the really distorted moment. It has a lot of acoustic sections, and when they do get heavy, from what I've heard from them previously, I think I've heard 25 as well, which is another song that came before this. They have like a post-metal, post-rock vibe to it. So it's not necessarily like a breakdown territory or like genty chug stuff. I do feel like whoever's mixing and producing this, whether it's in-house, is maybe relatively new to the world of heavier music. I don't know. This is just a hunch. This could be completely wrong, but I just do feel personally, from my own tastes, that the song loses a bit of steam, not only just from the mix when it gets heavy. I just don't feel like the heavier moments are that inspired. They do fit the songs quite well, and it's more emphasis on the atmosphere and the incredible vocals of the lead vocalist. But the actual like heavy moments itself are very like run-of-the-mill modern metal, where it's like just chugs for the sake, not for the sake of it. It does fit, and it makes the song feel very epic, but they're not like the most exciting thing in the world. I actually kind of prefer the more like post-metal vibe that they go with in the last song, Sunshine, where it's kind of like this big atmospheric wall of sound outro, as opposed to the really distorted like note by note bow 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 bow. But that is just me. That is like the only negative thing, semi-negative thing, constructive feedback that I can give for this album. Otherwise, it's really fucking good. As a debut EP or debut album, wow, this band is one to look out for. For fans of Sleep Token, for fans of, geez, I want to say like The Weeknd and shit, for fans of Meshuggah in moments, probably a couple of other bands that I could think of off the top of my head, but I'm not going to, because you could just name so many different sounds. Deftones as well. These are just such obvious comparisons. And, oh, they're genty, it's Meshuggah. Oh, they have falsetto vocals, it's Sleep Token. Oh, they have kind of sexy, you know, low spoken with reverb vocals, it's Deftones. I know, I am a prick. I'm just calling out all the obvious things, but, you know, comparisons exist for a reason. This is the human brain just making quick comparisons, so it's easy to be like, hey, this is for fans of this, you might like this because of this. But in saying that, it is still really, really unique. Like really, really unique. That vocalist is incredible. I think this is going to be one of my favorite bands if they continue in this direction. Tidy up the distortion side of things. Again, this is all from the point of view of someone who just listens to a shit ton of music. I don't have any experience in the world of mixing and mastering and producing. So I'm not saying anything that I say is objectively correct. I'm just going off of my own tastes. Someone might absolutely adore this sound, which I get. I do really enjoy it. I just feel as though it's very close to being absolutely perfect. But in my mind, from a mix standpoint, there's a bit of a discrepancy between the pre-breakdown and the pre-heavy guitars. Two of the guitars, it sounds like there's a bit of a discrepancy in the mix. So it's like, it feels like too much of a step up. Instead of the smooth gradient into the drop, it's like, so it can be a little bit jarring to listen to, especially if you're listening to on a semi-decent setup. Maybe you wouldn't notice it as much on like a car system or like on AirPods or some shit, but I'm noticing the finer details on my end here, and that's fine. That is completely fine. Now, I have to rate this as well. I'll call out my individual ratings. Two of the songs don't really count towards ratings because they're like a minute long. They kind of fall more into the overall vibe of the album, which I thought they actually fit the vibe quite well. And it was quite an interesting approach to take 2 songs, then a break, then a song, then a break, then 3 songs, which I think broke up the album quite well. 31 minutes, it felt a lot shorter than 31 minutes, which is saying a lot. So I think Warrior was an incredible intro. Heavier tones are a little bit jarring in parts, lots of potential though. Perfect intro as far as I'm concerned. I say perfect, it's not really going to be perfect because that would be a 10 out of 10. I get the intro an 8.5. I can't ask for much more than that. It was epic. It got me interested. And I think it gave us a taste of what's to come for the rest of the album. You can't really ask for much more than that. 8.5 out of 10. Confidence. I'd already heard. That was my second or third listen. The songs that I've heard that are non-singles, or the songs that I've heard prior to this, got better as well, which is always a good thing because it just means the more I listen to these songs, they're probably going to keep growing and this is going to get better and better and better, which is really exciting. There's not many bands that do that these days. For me, this is exciting. 8.5 for Confidence as well. Save Me might be my favorite song I've heard from these guys, but I think Rue might be closing in on that as well. I've heard Rue once or twice as well. Didn't like massively love it. I knew they had something, but hearing them again now, I'm like, oh yeah, this is some good shit. So for right now, I want to listen to Save Me again. That might be my favorite song. Again, I think the most interesting parts of the song were before the actual heavier moments. For me personally, they just had me in the palm of my hand. They had me in the palm of their hand for that lead up to the drop. And then when the drop comes in, I'm kind of like, all right, okay. It feels like we kind of have a release in the tension that's being built, which I guess is the point of the drop, but it's not. It feels like we lose a bit of steam and then we build it up again, which is still good because they managed to pull it back. But I just feel like the payoff for how good the build up wasn't the most satisfying thing in the world for me personally. But I still gave that song a 9 out of 10 because it just had me by the balls. And I know that with like the slightest adjustments, again, this isn't me being like, make this change. It's just my personal thoughts. They can do whatever the fuck they want. I would say that song is an easy fucking 9.5 if the drop is a little bit more satisfying. That's all. 8.4 for Acceptance. That is still an enjoyable song. I think I gave it maybe a lower rating on my first listen, but it's definitely gotten better. The second portion of that song is sick. It's obviously the heaviest song on the album, and it has the most room for it to be a little bit jarring because of the amount of heaviness that's in it, but it's still so creative. It's really, really unique. And then it has the kind of Vessel, Sleep Token-esque vocals in it without it being very on the nose. Like, this guy's doing his own thing for sure. Rue, I gave it 8.6. That could rise. That song had me goosebumps all over, and that's going to get better. So yeah, 8.6 for now. And then Sunshine as the outro track, a little bit disappointing as an outro track considering how good the rest of the songs were. Again, I do like the kind of post-metal vibe they had going on at the end. I think that kind of suits them at the moment. But I am so here for like genty breakdowns and rhythms and shit and riffs on top of the creativity that they already have. I just think the heavier moments are a little bit busy at times, but I thought the breakdown or the kind of climactic moment towards the end of Sunshine was good. 8 out of 10 for me. So if we delete the 2 songs, it means we have 6 songs. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I can quickly pull out my little calculator here, and I'm going to go 8.5 plus 8.5 plus 9 plus 8.4 plus 8.6 plus 8 equals 51 divided by 6 equals 8.5. And you know what? That is exactly the score I had in my mind. So the average score based on the 6 songs, because we're not going to include the other 2, is an 8.5. And in my head, I was like, what is this as an album, especially for a debut? It's an 8.5 out of 10, guys. 85 out of 100 for a debut album. That is one of my highest rated albums this year. So shout out to ASAVA. That is one to look out for. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Did you enjoy it? I don't know what I'm going to title this video. It'll probably be like, Sleep Token fans must hear this right now, or some bullshit like that. But like at the same time, it's still accurate, you know? Because I do believe that Sleep Token fans would absolutely eat this up. This is right up their street. So we'll see what I do with the title. But either way, excited for this band. Very fun to listen to. Thoroughly enjoy that. Let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like in the video if you did enjoy. Make sure you're sub to the channel. Go follow the band. Links will be in the description. See you later. Cheers.